want to share with you a very powerful idea that came clear to me over Sukkot. The lulav is a very integral part of Sukkot in two respects, right? Lulavim, at least for hundreds, maybe more than that years, were always the primary source of schach. Today things have changed, everyone's using these kindness, but it was always open lulavim that were being used for schach on the sukkah. And the second one, of course, is the lulav, part of the arba minim. It's interesting to note that the lulav is closed and the palm tree that we put on the sukkah is open. What is the significance of that? Rashi says in the beginning of the parak lulav agazel, third parak of sukkah, that the lulav is called kapas tamarim. The Torah refers to lulav called kapas tamarim because it's like the hand. And if you look at a lulav, right, it's like a hand with the finger sticking out. In fact, even in English, it's called a palm tree. A palm tree. It's like a hand. There's two positions that are critical in the hand: open hand, an open hand, and a closed hand. Right? The open hand represents letting go, opening up your hands. Letting go means that I understand I'm not in control. This morning, I was coming out of the mikvah on the way to the coast. I realized I only have 2 minutes to catch my bus. I went quite quickly to the bus, and I got there, just arrived at the stop. And it was an Arab bus driver, as many of the buses in Jerusalem are driven by Arabs. And I knocked on the door, they should open the back door, and he didn't. He just pulled away. And my initial reaction was, Kol mad avid Rahman l'tov avid. If this is what happened, this is what Hashem wants, I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go. Right? Next time, I have to be more careful, get out of the mikvah on time, go to the front, realize that he's not necessarily going to open the back door. He didn't feel like that his job obligated him to do so. But just letting go. It didn't work out. I just let go. And that's what the palm on the sukkah represents. Sitting in a sukkah represents letting go. A sukkah is the worst possible form of protection we could possibly imagine. You know, I came into this base medrash a few weeks ago. There was an Arab attack from Iran on Israel. 181 missiles were sent. And this base medrash that we have now is fortified. I ran in here, right? And Baruch Hashem, it passed. I got to learn an extra hour because of that. And the sukkah is probably the least protected area that you could go to during a missile attack. My neighbor, in fact, said, though, that the most dangerous place to be in a missile attack is in an open field, because that's where most of them fall. But the sukkah represents letting go. Letting go, putting things into Hashem's hand, and that's why we use the open palm. The open palm represents letting go. Our palms are open. That's as far as the protection goes. And other areas of our life, anywhere we need a shtadlus, generally just let go. Do the shtadlus needed, as we've spoken about, but just let go. Number two is the mitzvah of the lulav, though. By the lulav, it's closed. Right? When it comes to mitzvahs, then we don't let go. Mitzvahs, in fact, is the place where we really need to do a shtadlus. As Chazal tell us, Kol b'yidei Shemayim chutz mi'yirei Shemayim. When it comes to Yirei Shemayim, then you have to be somewhat of an apikaros and do significant amount of shtadlus, and that's why the lulav is closed completely. There are other deeper reasons. It represents achdus. It represents Kabbalistic concepts of Za'anuk, other things. But as far as we're concerned, the closed lulav represents doing hishtadlus for mitzvahs. There we don't let go. There we do our maximum capacity to fulfill the mitzvah. And these are the two aspects of sukkahs. The one aspect of the open palm on the sukkah, letting go. The other aspect of the lulav being closed. I'll share with you an amazing story. I heard it from my Rosh Yeshiva, Moshe Meisman, and others. Right? The Brisker Rav was known to be a very nervous person. When it came to mitzvahs, he was always calculating things, thinking, extremely nervous. When the war was going on and missiles were falling all over, he was the calmest person in the world. And people asked him, Rabbi, I don't understand. All the time you're so nervous and I calm. He says, when I could do something, I'm nervous. When it comes to Yirei Shemayim, I'm nervous. When it comes to protection from God, so I put myself in Hashem's hands. There's nothing I could do. In fact, there's a picture in a book of before he made matzahs and after he made matzahs. Before he made matzahs, like this. After matzahs, he's completely calm. This is a major thing we can take out of Sukkot. Yeah? The open lulav and the closed lulav. The open palm and the closed palm. Right? Let's try as much as possible in our life when dealing with other people let go, open palms, let it roll like water off the duck's back. When it comes to mitzvahs, close our hands, do ishtalis, make the maximum effort. If we do this, we're following in Hashem's ways. We took a very valuable lesson out of Sukkot. Hashem should help us, amen, Kain Tzara Tzon.